This session was recorded live on Facebook.
All right, I'm going to see if there's any new questions here. We've got a follow-up question about reincarnation. Thank you for asking. Reincarnation is a very popular belief, and it's understandable because it would explain a lot of otherwise unexplainable things, like, for example, how and why it is that some people are born into a loving household with sufficient food, clothing, shelter, and guidance, and others are born into poverty, despair, and abuse. And there's many other reasons we could question whether or not we have only one life, but probably the biggest one being that we know that we're developing. We have a sense of that. And perhaps you died in utero, or you died shortly after birth, or you died in infancy or toddlerhood, or, somewhere where a life was truncated. But even if you lived a full and long life, there's always going to feel like the essence of, but there's so much more that I could do and be and grow and develop. And that is all true. All of it. And so it's understandable that we would imagine that we would reincarnate. But the truth that comes through to us from Jesus and many, many other souls who came through James Edward Paget, which again was a pure, clear channel with automatic writing, and I've described that in the last session. It's a myth. You only live on planet Earth once, because you really only need one opportunity to be made part animal and part spirit, which is what we are here. The physical mortal body is an animal, just like the other animals, with the primary and critical difference being we have a soul that is capable of becoming at one with God. The animals all have spirits that know God in their own way, but it's not the same. But anyway, we only need to have that experience where we come together, all of the different levels of soul development in one place. The wheat and the tares permitted to dwell together. We only need that once, because we're setting a trajectory for our true life. I personally believe, through all of my experiences of study and also my own developed soul as I'm developing in divine love, my own soul perceptions, I believe that we aren't even born yet. I believe this is the final gestation period of our experience as individual souls. That we're really born when we come into spirit and we drop the mortal body. And then, that's where we start. But the good news is we progress from there. We do not stagnate. So you're not stuck. You then have the equivalent of eternity to continue to develop and grow. So there's no need to ever come back to planet Earth. And there's a lot more on this conversation. I have a whole video on reincarnation on the Divine Truth Sharing YouTube video channel. So if you have more questions about it, I've gone into depth on that. But no, reincarnation is a myth. It's a very popular myth, and it's being perpetrated all over the place, including from spirits on the other side who are in the first and second sphere, who crossed over with that belief and still have it, and they're coming through mediums, not divine love mediums. They're coming through evidential mediums. And they're perpetrating that myth, but it is a myth. Okay.